In this segment, I'm going to be discussing Standard 2, Content Pedagogy. This standard states, candidates develop as reflective practitioners able to demonstrate effective implementation of educational technologies and processes based on contemporary content and pedagogy. This standard actually contains my favorite assignments that I completed during the course of my EdTech program. In the game design assignment, I had to take a pre-existing game and design it into something that would represent meaningful pedagogy to my students, with the idea of satisfying the contemporary needs of my students as well. My video showed my overall game design and discussed how the gameplay works to help students overcome the daunting emotional trials of being confronted with bullies by approaching the problems through humor and discussion. This assignment was especially meaningful to me because of the active role my students took in the creation of it, even designing the characters and cards that went along with it. The Bullies of Hubbard Hollow Elementary was based on the popular game The Werewolves of Miller's Hollow, but instead of identifying the werewolf and supporting characters, this game identifies the bullies and other members of an elementary school. My project-based learning assignment on bee decline entitled Be Smart challenged students to create products to raise awareness of bee decline after researching through a plethora of technological means while ultimately assessing their ability to understand why pollination is necessary and important as outlined by our science core standards. Students are not only assessed on the standards themselves, but through a lengthy reflective process both in small groups and individually. My Resley Game Lab reflections are something I really wanted to include, not just because of the amount of work that was included throughout my 2 classes with Dr. Hassel, but because they embody my reflective practice as I embarked on a very different kind of learning approach with gamified lessons driven by choice and a badge and point system I had never quite encountered before. My media literacy lesson was something that was very close to my heart because I had really stressed over what media literacy meant to my students as young primary 2nd graders. Parents watched a series of videos and answered questions to help in mastering such concepts as credible research and cyberbullying.